Hello, Youngstown! As we enjoy these last warm days of summer, a big question is brewing, one that travels all the way from the vast Pacific Ocean to our backyards here in the Mahoning Valley. Will LaNina bring a wild winter to town? You might have heard the name LaNina on the news, a term that sounds a little mysterious. In Spanish, it means the little girl, but don't let the gentle name fool you. This powerful weather pattern can pack a serious punch. Understanding it is the first step to being ready for whatever Mother Nature has in store for us. For those of us in Northeast Ohio, winter isn't just a season, it's a defining part of our identity. The cold, the snow, the gray skies. We're used to bundling up and driving on slick roads. Our winters shape everything from school schedules, city budgets for road salt, weekend plans, utility bills. To understand LaNina's potential impact on a Youngstown winter, we first have to travel far, far away to the equatorial Pacific Ocean. Imagine this vast expanse of water as a giant engine for our planet's weather. Normally, there are steady winds, called trade winds, that blow from east to west across this ocean. These winds act like a giant fan, pushing the warm surface water from near South America over toward Asia, Australia. That's essentially what happens during a LaNina event. For reasons that scientists are still studying, these east to west trade winds become much stronger than usual. Back in the eastern Pacific, near South America, the departure of all that warm water allows an even larger and colder pool of deep ocean water to well up to the surface. Once LaNina has established that vast pool of cool water in the eastern Pacific, it begins to act like a giant rock in a stream, altering the flow of the atmosphere above it. The most significant change happens to the jet stream. This pattern creates a distinct split in winter weather. The Pacific Northwest, the northern tier of the United States, including the Great Lakes region, often find themselves on the cold and stormy side of this jet stream. The impact of LaNina doesn't stop at our continent's borders. Its influence is truly global. In Europe, the altered jet stream can also lead to significant changes. For us here in Youngstown, the most important takeaway is our location relative to that wavy jet stream. Being situated in the Great Lakes region puts us right in the potential path of those cold air outbreaks diving down from Canada. Before we can understand how a LaNina winter might be different, let's take a moment to appreciate a normal Youngstown winter. If winter were a longtime neighbor, the normal one is the one we know well. A typical winter in the Mahoning Valley usually begins to show its face in late November, with temperatures consistently dropping below freezing. By December, the first significant snowfalls often arrive. Snow is, of course, a central character in our winter story. On average, Youngstown receives about 60 to 70 inches of snow throughout the entire season, often thanks to our proximity to Lake Erie. This lake effect snow is a phenomenon we know all too well. When cold Arctic air blows over the relatively warmer waters of the lake, it picks up moisture and dumps it as snow on the downwind shores. Now let's switch gears and imagine a winter influenced by LaNina. If a normal winter is our predictable neighbor, a LaNina winter is the cousin who shows up unannounced and turns everything upside down. The biggest change for Youngstown would likely be in the frequency and intensity of cold air outbreaks. Because the jet stream is positioned to our north and west, it creates a perfect pathway for frigid Arctic air to plunge directly southward. Instead of getting 2 inches from a typical event, 3 inches from a typical event, we could see powerful snow squalls that dump 6 inches, 8 inches, or even 12 inches of snow in a very short period over a localized area. This could lead to a winter with well above average total snowfall, potentially pushing our seasonal totals closer to 80 inches, 90 inches, or even 100 inches. A LaNina winter can also be stormier. The active storm track means we could see more clippers, fast-moving storm systems that dive down from Alberta, Canada. These bring strong winds, rapidly falling temperatures, and dangerous whiteout conditions. A wild LaNina winter doesn't just change the weather forecast, it changes the rhythm of our daily lives here in Youngstown. Think about the simple act of getting to work or school. On a normal winter morning, you might add 10 extra minutes to your commute. For parents and students, the morning routine becomes a waiting game. The question of will there be a snow day becomes a near-daily drama. A LaNina winter could mean more snow days than usual. The cold itself seeps into every aspect of life. A prolonged Arctic blast means furnaces are working overtime, leading to significantly higher heating bills for families and businesses. It puts a strain on our infrastructure, increasing the risk of frozen pipes in homes and water main breaks under our streets. This kind of winter also tests our community's resilience and our connections with each other. It becomes more important than ever to check on elderly neighbors and support food banks as families struggle with higher utility costs. Facing the prospect of a wild LaNina winter isn't about hunkering down in fear. It's about taking smart, practical steps to be prepared. The first place to focus is your home. Take a walk around and look for places where cold air can sneak in. It's also a great time to have your furnace inspected and serviced to ensure it's running efficiently and safely before it has to work overtime. Next, let's talk about our vehicles, which are our lifelines during the winter months. Don't wait until the first slippery morning to check your tires. Good all-season or dedicated snow tires can make a world of difference. It's also essential to build a winter emergency kit for your car. This should include a blanket, extra gloves and hat, flashlight, portable phone charger, small shovel, ice scraper, and non-perishable snacks and water. Preparing our families is just as important. Have a family communication plan in place. Designate an out-of-state contact person. Build a home emergency kit with flashlights, batteries, first aid supplies, medications, and enough food and water for 3 days. Finally, stay informed by having a reliable way to receive weather alerts. A NOAA weather radio works even if power goes out, and follow trusted sources for weather information. In the end, the question of whether LaNina will bring a wild winter to Youngstown is a fascinating puzzle of global science and local impact. We've journeyed from the vast, cool waters of the Pacific Ocean to the familiar streets of our own neighborhoods. The story of LaNina is a powerful reminder that we live in a deeply interconnected world. An ocean temperature change thousands of miles away can determine whether our children have a snow day or whether we need to leave for work an hour early. Understanding this potential doesn't mean we should view the coming winter with dread. Instead, it offers us the gift of foresight. It allows us to move from being reactive to being proactive, making us a stronger, more resilient community. So as we watch the forecast in the months to come, let's embrace the information. Let's get ready, stay safe, and find the joy in the season. Whether it's the quiet beauty of a gentle snowfall or the exhilarating fun of a sled ride down a hill blanketed by a LaNina storm.